So the big question that everyone is dying to know in the dividend investing community right now is, are y'all selling WBD? And to answer this question very simply, yeah. In fact, I already sold my Warner Brothers Discovery shares, all 24 of them. And in today's video, I'll explain why, and I'll also tell you how I plan to reinvest that money. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, my friends, what is going on? It's so great to see you guys. My name is Ryan Williams, and here I show you how to create passive income and reach financial freedom by investing in dividend stocks, which is something that I do every single week. No matter what is going on in the world, whether the stock market is climbing up or plummeting down, I'm buying more dividend stocks and working to grow my portfolio to a point where the passive income that it generates can cover all of my living expenses and more, which will happen someday. As they say, it ain't much, but it's honest work, and every contribution I make to my portfolio brings me one step closer to that goal of reaching financial freedom. And as far as this week goes, I invested $150 into my dividend stock portfolio and picked up two really great companies. I added $75 to Starbucks, and I also added another $75 to Snap-on. But that's not all, guys. As I mentioned in the intro, I also completely sold out of Warner Brothers Discovery, ticker symbol WBD, which really didn't last long in my portfolio at all. And real quick, for those of you who don't know, Warner Brothers Discovery is a new company that was created from the spinoff of Warner Brothers from AT&T. They just merged it with Discovery. And for AT&T shareholders such as myself, for every one share of AT&T you had, you would have gotten 0.24 shares of this new spinoff company, WBD, which is what we're looking at here. At any rate, from the sale of these 24 shares, I got about $580 that I can now use to put back in my checking account, or I can use it to reinvest back into my portfolio, which is something that I will be talking about more later on in this video. But one interesting thing that I noticed after the spinoff, after the sale actually, Charles Schwab, which is the brokerage that I use for investing, adjusted my cost basis for T. My average cost per share was around $28, and I was at about a 30% loss with the company. But as you can see now, my average cost per share is only $21.63, so it's down about $6.50, and I'm now down just under 10% instead of 30%, which is much easier to stomach, as I'm sure you can imagine. And there's a few reasons I decided to sell out of Warner Brothers Discovery so quickly, the first of which is, I think, best explained by my good man, Zal Dath, who is in the Discord group, which, by the way, if you guys want to join the Discord group, it's totally free. There's a link to join in the description. Come join us. We're having a lot of fun in there. Anyway, Zal Dath said, I'm not interested in owning a piece of the super highly competitive and cost-intensive streaming / content creating industry, with Google as an exception for him. But I think he's right. And if you think about it, streaming services these days are becoming a dime a dozen. At this point, guys, we have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, Peacock, Apple TV, HBO Max, YouTube TV, Paramount Plus, and Disney Plus, just to name a few. And it's tough to keep up with all of that content. To stay competitive with all of the different streaming services out there means that you have to constantly invest in new media, new TV shows, new movies. And so overall, a company in this industry is going to have to constantly come up with new things to bring in new subscribers and also keep current subscribers engaged and paying on a month-to-month basis. And you can compare this to a company like Coca-Cola, who's pretty much been selling the same exact product for, now over a century. For a lot of investors, including myself, it may be more preferable to invest in something like that. Anyway, moving on, the second reason I decided to swiftly get out of my Warner Brothers Discovery position is simply because it doesn't pay a dividend. And having said that, because my primary objective is to build up my dividend income, it makes more sense to take those WBD funds and reinvest them into other dividend-paying stocks to get closer to reaching my ultimate goal of achieving financial freedom. For me, that's really what it's all about, guys. As many of you know, the stock market can be a fickle broad, and you never know what she's going to do next, which is one of the reasons I'm so gung-ho about this particular style of investing. I believe the dividend adds a whole nother dimension to investing in stocks and can make it so you're not just a slave to whatever the share price is doing, which is why I said earlier, I'm buying dividend stocks every single week, no matter what direction the market is headed. At any rate, you're probably still wondering how the heck I'm going to be investing that $580 that I got from selling WBD. And to explain that a little bit more, let's jump over to the screen. All right, guys, now over here on the screen, we are taking a look at my dividend stock portfolio here on Seeking Alpha, which is the platform that I use to do all of my dividend stock research. And we are taking a look at all of my different holdings, and they are organized by worst performing at the top to best performing at the bottom, as you can see right here. And no surprise, AT&T is my worst performing stock. According to Seeking Alpha, it's down over 30%. But as we discussed earlier in the video, that's not actually the case anymore, and I think Seeking Alpha just needs a little time to catch up. At any rate, what I wanted to show you is all of these other positions that are down in my portfolio. I have Starbucks down 16.5%. I have Intel down almost 12%. I have 3M down over 11%, and I have some others that are down as well. And so when thinking about how to reinvest my WBD funds, reinvest that $580 back into this portfolio, my initial thought was, well, maybe I could just add some more of these positions. I could throw some more money to Starbucks, which is something I've been doing anyway. I could pick up some more Intel, which is also a stock that I've been buying here and there. And this would actually be a great move. I could add some more of the stocks that are down in my portfolio, lower my cost basis, lower my average cost per share, which would hopefully help me in the future if these stocks were to appreciate. It should help me generate a better return in the future by doing so. So that's one possibility that I thought of. But then I started thinking about it a little deeper and wanted to explore some other options. And another idea that I came up with, guys, let's go over to my watch list real quick, was maybe adding a new stock to my portfolio. This might be a good opportunity to do so. As you guys can see, I think we have 8 different stocks here on this watch list that are ones that I've been chewing on, considering adding to my portfolio. I think Costco's still very expensive. Pepsi definitely has some room to come down, but there are a couple on this list that have been heading down in share price lately and seem to be getting more affordable as time goes on. Lowe's has definitely been doing that. If we go over here, I think it's down year to date over 20%. Yeah, in the last 6 months, they're down 7%. So this one's heading south, making its way toward a new 52-week low. It's still got, about 10% or so till it gets there. Microsoft is another one that seems to be getting cheaper. It was just recently above $300 per share, and in the last month, it's down, 4.6%, and it still has some room to come down for sure. I'd love to actually start really considering this company maybe $250 per share and below. So this is kind of the dilemma I'm in right now. Should I use those funds to reinvest back into some of the pre-existing positions in my portfolio that are down, like Starbucks or Intel? I've been buying a lot of Snap-on. Maybe I add a little bit more to Snap-on. Or do I take this opportunity and add a new position to my portfolio and look for something that seems to be at a fair value right now, like a Lowe's or a Johnson Outdoors Inc., which I'm not 100% sold on yet. So this is something I'm still chewing on. I haven't come to a decision yet, but I'll tell you this, if I were to add a new stock to my portfolio right now, it would probably be either Lowe's or Microsoft. Probably between those two. I really want to add like a big blue chip to my portfolio. At any rate, guys, if you want to keep the party going and continue talking dividend stocks with me, then click on this video right up over here. And also, if you want to see more videos from me in the future and stay up to date with what I've got going on, then hit the subscribe button right here. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.